This comes from the New York State testing sampler number 2 on computer-based testing. It is grade 8. It is question number 2. It involves linear equations and slope. In particular, we'll be looking at systems of equations, systems of linear equations. And this is a fun one because it says solve this system, and it gives you choices of answers. It also gives you the option of no solution or infinitely many solutions. So you have to refresh yourself with what those mean. So I'll just draw a graph here, and I'll remind everybody that, remember, we have our x and y axes, and I'll draw two, one to represent the no solution and one for the infinitely many. And actually, let's do a third to show what one solution would look like. So let's start with infinitely many. Infinitely many would mean that the lines lay on top of each other. So let's use blue for one line. And then if we had another line landing right on top of it, that would be infinitely many. That would mean they are the same line. So if I look at this, I see that one is 2x plus 4y equals 10. One is 2x plus 4y equals negative 10. They are not the same line. So I'm going to say that will not be our answer choice. Then we have the option of they are one solution. So we have this one would be our red line, and this one would be our blue line, and they would cross in one spot. We could find out what that solution is. There is also the opportunity to see no solution, and no solution is another special case. It is parallel lines. It is when they have a different y-intercept but the same slope. So you can say to yourself, well, they're never going to cross because they are both on the same tracks, like train tracks. They're never going to cross. So we need to determine that. Some of you may be able to see this just by looking at the form that it's in right now, that in fact there is no solution, but I'd like to prove it to you. So you have your 2x plus 4y equals 10. Let's get that into y equals mx plus b form by moving our 2x to the other side. So I'll put a line down the middle, and you'll have your 4y equals negative 2x plus 10. I'm just going to use the commutative property to reverse those, just like switching seats at your partner table. And now I will divide everybody by 4, and I'll be left with y equals negative 1/2 x plus 10 over 4, or 5 over 2, or 2.5. Any of those are good enough for what we need. Now that's the first equation. Let's just demonstrate the second equation. So you would have 2x plus 4y equals negative 10. Let's do the same thing, where you put your line down the middle, subtract your 2x from both sides, and you'll have 4y equals negative 2x minus 10. I'll bet you can see now that if you divide everybody by 4, you will have the same slope. So you'd have y equals negative 1/2 x, and this time instead of plus 2.5, you're going to have minus 2.5. So you have exactly what we saw here. They are parallel lines. They have the same slope, negative 1/2, and they have different y-intercepts, that positive 2.5 and negative 2.5. So they will never intersect. So there is no solution.